In Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, based on the popular novel series for young adults, there's a town where there's a house that belonged to the Bellows family. And there was a woman in the family, Sarah Bellows, who died a long time ago. And she wrote stories about experiences she had in that house and stuff. Her family was mean to her, and she just wrote stories about that. Years later, there are some kids who sneak into the house on Halloween, just, for the thrill of it. Let's sneak into this old house for some fun on a dark night on Halloween. And they find this book of stories she wrote in it. And after they find it, horrible things start happening to them and some of the people they know afterwards. That's the basic setup and the premise. And if I say anything more, there's spoilers. But I will say that this is a surprisingly good movie. I think what makes it surprisingly good is I think this is the kind of movie that a lot of people will have low expectations for, right? Because it's very similar, I think, to It, actually, in its stylings and presentation. But it hasn't been marketed or advertised by It. I think a lot of people are expecting this movie, who know about it, to be like some low-grade, B-level thriller that, wouldn't really hold up to a lot of the better, horrors movies that have come out. But I actually think it does. It's very well directed and atmospheric. It's story-based horror, right? I mean, and what do I mean by that? Every movie has a story, right? The scares in this movie, they aren't like the jump scares, kind of stuff that you see in a lot of horror movies. They come from a place in the story, right? Very atmospheric. It's not, this movie doesn't hinge upon things jumping out at you. They're not cheap scares. They're atmospheric. They come from the story. And it's a very story-based movie. The ending of the movie, between the main character and I'm not going to say what else, it does play a lot into the emotions of the characters and things that happened in the past. And I thought it was very moving, actually. That's just my opinion. And the main characters of this movie are the little kids who are wrapped up in it. All the actors do a good job. And the best thing about the movie, though, is the way it's directed and the effects, right? The creature effects in this movie are very good. They don't look cheap. They look like, they're some of the best, I guess, creature and monster effects I've seen in recent movies. Heightened by the fact that this isn't a movie I think you're going to be expecting that much out of. And I thought it was going to be some low-level, horror movie. But they actually it was very well done, very well constructed, and very well put together. And it's not a gory movie at all. It is very atmospheric and story-based. It's not like a Saw movie or, one that relies on a lot of, bloody stuff and hacking and things like that. And there's some very interesting creature designs. But some of the monsters in this movie, they're very well done in the way they're rendered and designed. Very unique. Unique and, well crafted, right? So they're not cheap looking. They look really good and they're well put together and the performances are good. So I think that if you're someone who wants to see a movie about, young adults wrapped up in some supernatural horror that is good, but not really of the gory jump scare kind of variety, gory or jump scare kind of variety, because they're two different things. They can be separate. Like Conjuring is very jump scary. The Conjuring franchise has a lot of jump scares, but it's not really gory. Whereas, Saw or Texas Chainsaw Massacre or whatever, those are very gory. So, it's neither one of those things. It's more atmospheric and story-based and, that sort of thing. So if you're into that, I think you'll enjoy this movie. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.